How's it going, everyone? We're back with another weekly watch list. Thank you so much for watching. If you do enjoy trading the market, this type of content, please consider subscribing to the channel, giving giving the video a like, or even commenting. It would mean the absolute world to me. But without further ado, let's hop right in. So kicking things off with NQ. All right. As far as upside goes, first we need to get over this previous day high and this level at 29,851. Okay. If we reject that area, I'll be watching downside back to the previous day low at 29,320. I would love to see a pullback long at the CPI high. That was a very big area of interest last week at 29,062 to 29,000. If we get below the previous day low, we get below the CPI high, that's where I like downside more, down to my next low at 28,575, okay? We're also been flirting with the daily 20, especially on SPY. So that's going to be something to really watch out for this week, okay? Let's go over to QQQ. So QQQ, we rejected that daily 20 SMA on Friday. So we need to get over that, reclaim it, maybe on the daily. Then we have much smoother price action, in my opinion, long-wise, over that. Okay, so we'll see what the market wants to do this week. But again, over the previous day high, over 725, and daily 20, I like longs over up to 732, over this area up to 732. So very clean, very easy to see. Same thing, we reject this zone, we reject the daily 20. I'll be watching downside back to the PDL, and then back to this high of 706.42, okay? Which also is a 4-hour demand zone as well. So it's definitely something I'll be watching on the futures side. I will play supply and demand on futures primarily. Right here, we got the small red candle followed by a large green candle. We have the 4-hour demand at 706.42 and even down to the open of that candle at 700. So, you know, there is room for downside here if we break below 706, but again, would be shorting into demand. That goes for NQ as well. So I definitely have more of a long bias, if you will, or a pullback long bias here. I mean, the market has been proving that over and over. I have not flipped on that yet. So looking at ES, previous day high, previous day low, there's a little bit of room. Well, I mean, 30 points is pretty decent. I just didn't want to make this a big 30-point zone. So there's a little bit of room to scalp longs over the previous day high up to 74.91. But we still have a lot of supply on ES specifically that I'm watching out for. So looking on the weekly, we have this weekly supply that we still haven't tested yet, okay? So we have daily supply as well that we still haven't tested yet. So I'm definitely going to be watching these areas which are above that 74.91. So if we go to the hourly here, this is a big level right here, 74.91. So if we reclaim that, I'm appealed, like the long appeal is there, but weekly supply here up to 75.19, but then the daily supply begins. You know, so we'll see. We could just leave this whole area blank and it'd be likely we see a rejection in here somewhere, but maybe this is a pop and a fade. We'll see. But it's just something I'm definitely watching out for this week. We'll go over to SPY, same type of thing, right? Daily 20s right here. How we react to the daily 20 this week, that's my biggest focus. This level and the daily 20. You can see it across NQ, QQQ, SPY, and ES. How do we react? Do we reclaim it and we long into the supply and we just bust through supply? Or do we reject this area and we move back lower? Maybe pull back long. You know, we have these 4-hour demand down here as well. So we'll see. All right, let's go over to the individuals. Apple. I love Apple for a swing. I have a swing position on Apple. I have a leap for January because of this confirmation at this level. So this former all-time high. We had support 1, support 2. So I took a swing at I believe around 290. So I'm sitting literally right at break even on the option. It's for January expiration. I believe it's a 300 calls for January. Just one. Pretty expensive. And I'm watching this. My stop loss is if we get a daily or a weekly close below 287. I mean, potentially even 283 because we have a strong 4-hour demand here at 283 as well. So just looking for this area to hold. I mean, that's my main play. So if that holds, well, then my bias, I'm definitely looking at longs over the previous day high up to 302. And my target for the leap is obviously the all-time high back at 317, but I'll probably start trailing my stop once we get over 305 in this fib area, okay? Let's go over to NVIDIA. NVIDIA's been doing nothing, so I'm not too concerned with that. I like longs if we reclaim 212, so if we get back above 212, I like that. I don't really have anything else there. Sure, I could watch downside into the PDL, but you're just playing in a range. I don't love this whole range right here. AMD, can't day trade AMD. The contracts are still insane. It's almost like every time it dips into the 400s, just grab some calls and you'll be fine. So yeah, I don't really have much to say here. I mean, obviously my levels are intact. My levels are updated. I'll watch calls over the previous day high up to the next high at 532, an all-time high. And it's definitely pullback longs for sure on AMD. I would not be looking at puts on this on a daily basis whatsoever. Go over to Google. Whoops, wrong Google. Google, another interesting spot. I have calls on this as well for August or September, but it's same play as Apple. I mean, this is what the market has been strong. You know, these stocks have needed pullbacks. I'm taking the longs. I'm taking my shot. If it fails, it fails. Weekly high. Confirmation on the weekly. Okay, it's not the prettiest candle, but it's a long wick. Daily confirmation was much better. Into this weekly high zone, look at this daily hammer. So let's get some follow through, Google, right? Let's get some follow through. I have swings for August or September. I can't remember which exactly. Obviously targeting that all-time high. If I'll probably start trailing my stop once we get above 378. That's going to be the first target to look for. Amazon as well in the same boat. All these stocks had really nice pullbacks. You know, it's not as clean on that. Amazon's no like weekly high where like, you know, testing or anything like that. I just have the fib up. We haven't hit that 61, but we did just fill a daily gap right here at 233. Nice candle, higher volume, lower wick. I mean, Amazon, as far as day trading goes, definitely be watching calls over this 244 area up to 250. So that's it. All right. So that's going to be the watch list for this week. Thank you all so much for watching. Wishing you all a great week inside and outside the market. Have a blessed week, and I'll see you all in the next watch list. Peace.